when I was in Florida back in May, I got a phone call on my cell phone. And on the other end was a guy who said, "Hi, this is Al." And he said, "I'm a Sufi from Ypsilanti, and I've been heartbroken these last few years watching the world perceive Islam as a bunch of terrorists and evil." He said, "I really want to get together with your interfaith community and convince them otherwise." And I said, "Well, you know, you're actually preaching to the choir. We understand that. We understand that we're all one. In fact, that's our part of our gospel. We are all one." Well, we arranged to get together after I got home, and we had a wonderful, delightful conversation. That led to our visit a few weeks ago to their community in his home, and we extended the invitation to come back and talk to us about Islam, Sufism, and maybe a word about Ramadan, which starts tomorrow. So let's have a nice warm welcome for Alhousseynou Ba.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with all of you. I don't know where to start, where to begin, because I felt just being at home. Because for you saying La ilaha illallah, I will ask my brother Pop maybe to come and sing just a few words of La ilaha illallah, because he have a better voice than me. Bismillah, come.
Assalamu alaikum. I think so, Khalifa and Mustafa, you gotta come. And Ibrahim, you come join too.
Oh, yeah.
La ilaha illallah, 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 wa la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, wa la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. you so much.
Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters, and thank you all also for allowing us to be part with you in recognizing and being aware that there is no God but God, and there is nothing to be but God. And in the starting, La ilaha illallah, the best way I can explain to you what is Sufism is the recognition of that La ilaha illallah. And before even to our daily life, computers recognize that because they function on that base. As a computer network, maybe administrator, I will go from that basic knowledge that I know that of computers working on the binary numbers, that even if you put hexadecimal to the computers, if you put decimal, doesn't matter what information you put in a computer, the computer will translate it to the binary numbers, which is 0 and 1. And that's exactly what La ilaha illallah means. For those of you who know what is the Arabic words, to understand Arabs, La ilaha illallah start with La. 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 I mean nothing. 0. La means nothing. There is nothing. And then what happened? When it's said there is nothing, say Illa Allah, but one. 0 saying there is nothing but one. And that's what we're saying. Sufism is the recognition of that one. And Sufism is also the awareness of that one. That you said, I am nobody, I am nothing but God. I am the reflection of God. And I'm aware of that. That's what Sufism means. When you start with the first surah of Quran, people say, I will recite it to you first. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata allazina anhamta alayhim. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Quran starts by saying, there's no Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, Allah. And I will show you Allah, who He is. That word Arabic, maybe it's an Arabic language, but I will show you. Allah, if I had a pen and paper, it would be best if I could have it. It will help me a little bit, describe it to you a little bit. Yes. Thanks. When you write the Arabic words, Allah is written like this. And we read it in Arabic. We read it in Arabic. Lif, lam, lam, ha. Lif, lam, lam, ha. Everywhere you look in the description of the best of creatures of God, you is there. Yes, Lif, lam, lam, ha. Lif, lam, lam, ha. Lif, lam, lam, ha. Lif, lam, lam, ha. If I was to ask anybody's name, I would say Alhousseynou. But whatever I put on myself too, that already have a name given to you, by you. This is a chess. this is the head, this is the hand. But the description of all my body express one word that in Arabic have no plural. One word that in Arabic have no masculine. One word that in Arabic have no feminine. I mean, God has no sex. Nobody can say God is sexism or plural, God is one. But he expresses himself in a different way. That means the uniqueness of God. God can only be one when in every single of anything, he expresses himself in one identity in that. That means no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, whether you are animals, whether you are a tree, whether you are a plant, whether you are a human being, that God has expressed in you one identity that only you have in the whole entirety of its creation. And you're the only one who can benefit the whole world with that. Now, it comes to understand that. What is that God-given gift to you? What is that awareness of God, the uniqueness of you being? To understand that, that's when we come to Sufism. Because Quran said, Alif Lam Mim Dhalika al-Kitab La Rayba Fi Hudan Lil Muttaqin. And it says Alif Lam Mim, it just give, the Quran have a very good way to express itself. It's kind of a those who learn communication should, I believe, learn the Quran. Because when he's talking to you, he won't address you one word you don't understand first. He say Alif, Lam, Mim, the only letters of Arabic. And you ask, what is about to talk about? Alif, Lam, Mim. It says, Zalik al-Kitab, this book, the Quran, La Rayba Fi Hudan Lil Muttaqin. There is no doubt is a guidance for those who fear God. And it is asked, who fear God? He said, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Those who have the awareness of the uniqueness of God in them. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Those who believe in the unseen. The unseen of you, the unseen of others, but the uniqueness of their identity. Those are the ones who fear God. وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةِ. Once that awareness is there, what you do? You have to benefit the rest of us. Once you recognize the awareness, benefit the rest of the world. And the best of helping others is to pray, is to connect. In a computer system, once again, there's a machine that is called DHCP. I don't know if everybody knows what a DHCP means. It's a server that recognizes any computer that comes around and put in it what we call an IP. IP is a number that allows you to join the network. If you don't have no IP, you cannot join. So the DHCP makes sure that any computer that turns on, you get an IP. That's its job. But that IP is only you, that computer, that has it. But that allows you to be able to join the network and talk to others. That's what we do in praying. When we pray, we connect. And we connect to the rest of all other creation, all other entities. That's what prayer is. He said, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةِ. You are aware of the uniqueness of God in you, and you share it with the rest. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. When you share, what happens is also you have to give something. You just don't come and pray and connect to others without giving them something. It's a give and take. That's why he said, الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. Or what God has gifted you, share, give to the rest. Don't keep it for your own. When you join the network, first, number one, be aware of who you are. Second, connect to the rest of other entities who are unique and the only one who can benefit you from the rest. And third, share. This is what Sufism is. Islam now is that big whole thing that allows you to submit. You know, as I usually say, there's a right, you have to have a right to be a slave. But also you have to let the master have a right to be the master. Right? There's a right to slaveness. And slaveness is the best of all things. The slaveness, I call it, to be a slave is the best of all things. Because anyone you hurt, they are talking about now. Whether it's Jesus, whether it's Muhammad, whether it's Moses, whether it's Harun or Solomon, or people that people are aware of, they were what we call servants. Servant to you, servant to the rest of the whole. And Muhammad was one. That's why when you join in Islam, we're asking people to say, that you bear witness, there is nothing but God, and Muhammad is a slave of that God. There is nothing but God, and Muhammad is a slave of that God. And it allowed him to be giving his right, taking back his right, the right to be slave, the right to be owned, the right to be part of the whole, because he has one identity. And the only way he can benefit all is to join the whole and to recognize the wholeness of God being one and the wholeness of God being the master. That the master is shared, is a shared master. That's what Islam allows us to do. Islam is that permission to come and be the slave of the whole. So that's why in the Quran again it said, in the name of God, in the name of the whole, the merciful, the compassionate, in the name of the whole. When you join the network and you give all yourself and you share all yourself to the whole is giving you back. What happened? Mercy happened. When you all come together, there's only mercy. There's only compassion when people come together. When they are aware of themselves, when they are aware of who they are, and then join the network, only thing can happen is mercy and compassion. That's why in the name of the whole, God, Allah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the merciful and the compassionate. And then what happened? When compassion and mercy happen, you say, thank God. Thank to the God. Thank to the whole. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Thank to Allah, the whole, who is the master of the universe, the master of all those who recognize themselves in Him. Again, mercy and compassion comes. That's why I say Rahman and Rahim. And what happened afterwards? When compassion is there, when mercy is there, the kingdom of God is there. They say Maliki Yawmiti is truly the king of the day of recognition, the day when we all come together. That's why he said Maliki Yawmiti. And what happened then? He said Iyaka na'budu. And you the whole, you the master of all things, you are the one we worship. Wa iyyaka nasta'in. And when we need help, we don't go nowhere else. We come to you. We come together. We submit together. We recognize each other. We are aware of each other. We are one in you. So we don't look for no help else but in us. That's why he said, wa iyyaka nasta'in. And what happened when you do that? You say, ihdina siratal mustaqim. Guide us, allow us to stay guided. Because when you do all of that, I mean you are truly guided. But to keep on guiding, to be in guidance all the time, you have to completely continue to pray and continue to be connected, continue to be compassionate, continue to share the identity, the unique identity of you to the rest. That's why you say, ihdina siratal mustaqim every single day. That's why in Islam you pray 5 times a day. That means it doesn't give you a chance to get away. In the morning, when you get up first in the morning, it tells you get back, connect back to the whole. Connect. You have no time to be one by yourself. It's not secure. Connect to the whole. It said go to the mosque and pray. Alright? And then 5 hours later, you pray again. And again, and again. By the time you go to bed, it said connect again. And then when you get connected and you become aware, everything that has to happen, you'll be aware of that. You know? That's why also, in the same way I describe this Allah in the body of a human being. Turn the page right now and look at it right here. Look at it right here. And just take this and put it this way. It's a tail of animal, and the legs of animal, and the heads of animal. So everybody could recognize themselves in it. That's what Islam is. Islam is to embody the whole thing. Sufism are those who are aware of that whole. And now we come to Ramadan. Ramadan is also a way of connection. It's a cable that connects you. Because the only way you can know somebody else is suffering. You know, when you come to this world, you are helped. God has allowed you to come through too. I said, God has made 4 different creations in us to allow us to know He is the only one who brings things out. There's 4 different human beings. He created the one who have no father, no mother. No father, no mother. Out of his culture, He put himself. He brings awareness of that be, and that is be. That He said be, just like the sun. I say to people, they all the time telling me, look at the sun. I say, whoever saw the sun will be no longer. Whoever see the reality of the sun will be no longer. It won't be around because the sun is so hot. You know, it's just like standing in front of a mirror and saying, look at myself. If you break that mirror, you won't be nowhere. You are the expression in the mirror. You're seeing the expression of you, just like you're seeing the expression of the sun. Just like also you're seeing the expression of God in you. Simple as that. When you come, then God created these 4 different human beings. The one first we call Adam, the first expression. The second expression is from Adam, He created Eve. The second expression, as God is fair. Wherever He starts, He will end it. That's why He created Jesus also from a woman with no male. And as you and I, from male and female. So if we come from these four creation, and for us to be aware of all of that, we have to feel each other's pain. Ramadan allows us to do that. You feel hungry. You will go hungry so that you know there are people that has not given the chance. God has given you the chance. If you have more, share with those. Because, like I said to people, all of these things is for us to be aware. That's the only reason God want to make sense of our life. If everybody have plenty, no awareness, no communion, no connection. If nobody have nothing to give, again, no connection. One has to have information, one computer had to have information and serve the others. The server is the biggest computer, is the more able computer, but he's still serving. That means more you got, more of data you have, more of goodness you have, more of that shared are required from you. That's why we call it server, but the server is mastering the computers. That's why Ramadan is there for you to remind you of that, remind you of hunger, remind you also of not from your mouth hurting others. Like I said, a word is a wave. Once it's out of your mouth, there's no control you have. You have the control to keep it in you. But once you put it out, it's a wave, and it will be continuously a wave. Maybe it will even come a time when that wave could be captured and feed back to us. That's why Islam also asks you during the Ramadan to make sure that you don't use your mouth to lie. You don't use your mouth to talk on others. And like I say always, when you are connected in the network, make sure you serve the network. And the best of serving the network is be positive with the rest of others who are connected in the network. So make sure that that mouth that you use for saying, there's no God but God, that we always saying good things out of it. And we said also, we don't eat, we don't drink, we will feel the hunger of others, we will feel the thirst of others, we will feel also the problems of others. As Ramadan will help you also maintain yourself, because God created you for a purpose. You ask already every single time you stand up and pray, you say, Ehdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, guide me back to the network. Allow me back to stay in the network. Ramadan allow you and remind you of that every time. So in very simple words, this is the message I have for you. Islam is a beautiful religion, but it's been given to people, it starts from people who were lost. Before Islam, the Arabs, if all of you go back in history, know that at that time there was vengeance everywhere. There was hatred everywhere. There were killing of women everywhere. The community, Arab community, used to kill their children when they were girls. Even happening now in India sometimes. But Islam come to stop all of that. Islam come at that time when people used to inherit the wives of their fathers, inherit women, inherit the other of them. Because the woman, like I said, there's a word in Senegal we call harit. Harit is like half of harit. We say, call it friend. You translate it here, friend. But the reality is, harit in the world's word means my half. So the completion of the rest. And so, when you don't identify that other part, when you are not connected to that other part, when you are not respecting the other part, when you are not giving right to the other part, you no longer full. And that's what happened before Muhammad, peace be upon him, come around. And that's why when the Muslim were fought against, when they were killed, when they were given tribulation and all, Muhammad sent them to Ethiopia, where there was a Christian king. That was at that time the Negus. And when the people of Mecca come to get their people back and say, these people don't even believe in your religion. They say they deny Jesus is God and all of that because they wanted the people to get the king to give them back the Muslims so that they can kill them. When one Muslim was called to justify why they were here, he said to the king, we used to disrespect our women. We used to kill our baby girls. We used to be having vengeance against each other. We used to lie. We used to kill each other. We used to create all this tribulation. This man come and tell us, you cannot do that no more. And to finish, I will read you this ayah of Quran, and that will describe you what that guidance, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, means. It's a very small ayah, if you allow me. And so you will see what Islam is truly about, what Ramadan is truly about, what Sufism is truly about. And he say here, in Arabic first, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل تعالوا أتل ما حرم ربكم عليكم ألا تشركوا بي شيئا وبالوالدين إحسانا ولا تقتلوا أولادكم من إملاق نحن نرزقكم وإياهم ولا تقربوا فواحش ما ظهر وما بطن ولا تقتلوا نفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تنقلون ولا تقربوا مال اليتيم إلا بالتي هي أحسن حتى يبلغ أشده وأوفوا كيل والميزان بالقسط لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها وإذا قلتم فاعدلوا ولو كان ذا قربى وبعهد الله أوفوا ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تذكرون وإن هذا صراط مستقيم. And in the beginning I say, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, guide us to the straight path. And then this is the straight path. It said here in English, say, O Muhammad, say to them, say to all mankind, come, I will recite what God has forbidden to you. Remember that you do not associate. Associating meaning you, yourself, that identity that is given to you. You are only one in the whole creation. Don't try to mix things. Associating meaning trying to take the others and say, I'm that too. You are you. And others are them too. And together is one. He said, don't associate nothing to God. That's number one. And show kindness to where you're coming from. Kindness to your parents. He said, show kindness. When God speaks about himself, the second he talks about you, where you're coming from. Show kindness to that. Show kindness to your parents, and do not slay your children for fear of poverty. Don't slay your children for fear of poverty. We provide for you and for them. And he said, and do not draw to indecencies, whether it's in hidden, when you are joining the network, even when you are disconnected, make sure you are still you. That means don't go and do wrong things. Stay in good. He said, do not draw in indecency those of them which are apparent and those which are concealed. Don't be doing anything wrong, whether it's concealed or apparent. And do not kill the soul which Allah has forbidden. That tells you one thing. What Islam again said, if you kill one human being, like you have killed the whole humanity. When you let live one human being, know that you have let live the whole humanity. That's right here in the Quran again. It says, don't kill one single soul. You are in the network, make sure you respect that network. It said again, and do not approach the property of the orphans except in the best manner until he attains his maturity. The orphans, make sure you don't eat their money up or you don't take their properties and do whatever you want with them until they attain maturity. And give full measure and weight. When you are a businessman and you're selling peace or you're selling anything or you're weighting something, make sure you give full weight to that. With justice. We do not impose, God said, I do not, the whole said to the uniqueness of us, I do not impose in any of you more than he can. Not all of you have to share the burden. And the wholeness said, I don't give any of you more weight than he can carry. That's what the Quran said here. La nukallifu nafsan illa wusaha. I do not impose on any soul a duty except to the extent of his ability. And when you speak, he said, when you speak, then be just toward it, be against, even when you speak about, when you are called for, be the witness. Even if you are closer to someone, make sure you tell the truth. He said, and be mindful to that, and know that this is my path. And this is to say to you, this is what God said in his Quran. What else? I don't know. There's many other things that happen around the world, and many has nothing to do with the belief of Islam, the basic of Islam. And Sufism is part of it. Sufism is the awareness of that. And I'm very happy, very glad that to see in you also example of Sufism. And I felt it when I sit here with you. I see the positive vibes coming out of you. And I can believe also you are Sufi too. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be with you. May God bless all of us and help us to be better every day.
I'm wondering if there are different, I don't know what to call it, denominations of Islam, and or do different groups interpret the Quran differently, or are there different translations of the Quran?
Right. Once again, thank you for asking that question. There's of today what we call, there are people who call themselves Sufi, or Sunni, or Shia. And that also come after the passing of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because a lot of people were expecting maybe his relative who is Ali. That tells you also Islam is a very fair religion. Because everybody thought the one who was closer to the Prophet should be inheriting the seat of the caliphate. And his relative, him and Ali shared the same grandfather, right? And he also married his own daughter, the daughter of the Prophet Fatima. Those now who said that Ali was supposed to be on the seat of the caliphate, when Abu Bakr was nominated as Caliphate of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam of Islam, they separate themselves, and that's why they call the Shia, those who separate themselves from the rest. And but still they have the same Quran, because the Quran is still in Arabic 1400 years ago, the way it comes down. That's what is still now. But the sentence of the Quran are explained differently for political reasons. You know, some people might interpret it or understand it different way. And Muhammad in a hadith, one of his hadiths said also, and every single ayah, there's maybe over 70 to 70,000 different explanations of that. But the reality is, if you were to take word to word what the Quran says, it's very clear to everybody.
I was wondering when, given our service started at 10:45, what would happen for you all at noon? Would you like to pray, or would you defer the prayer to when you're together later? But I know noon is one of your traditional praying times.
I don't understand.
It's
Okay. For the praying time, it's not exactly at noon, you know. It's not a definite time. And you know, nowadays technology is very good. I mean, with this phone here, it always at the prayer time it will sing. It will say the Azan. You know, in the tradition they were saying that Muhammad was speaking to the tree and people didn't believe him. But right now the phones are speaking his name. So.
That relates to my question. I'm also really interested in the praying 5 times a day part of Islam. And I was just wondering, truly, if you want to pray 5 times a day, but you're at work as a systems administrator or whatever else you do people find a way, or, you know, I love it that there's an app for praying. But if you really, I mean, does it work? You know, is it enough?
Yeah, it's it's truly enough, because I'm gonna show you how we pray in Islam. I have to demonstrate to you. It's very simple. And like I said, in praying in Islam, in the morning is only 2 rakah. I will show you what a rakah is. It's 2 rakahs in the morning at Fajr time. At noon time, like they say, is 4 rakahs. They call it 4 rakahs. At Asr time, before the sun go down, is 4 rakahs again. And when the sun is going down, is 3 rakahs. And the last prayer is again 4 rakahs. And the way the Muslim pray, they have to, right here in America, they have to orient themselves to the northeast. I don't know where the northeast is. But still, you have an app also. Yeah. They still also have an app. And wherever I am, you have no way out. God doesn't give you no way out, so He gives you an app to orient yourself to the northeast, to the Kaaba. And when you stand up to pray, first you say, I recognize the whole Allahu Akbar. There's nothing bigger than all of us. All together. Allahu Akbar. When you say Allahu Akbar, that's the first number thing that you do. And what you do also, you say the surah that I just said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, to the end. And then when you finish that, you say any other Quran ayah. Ayah is just a sentence of the Quran. You can take any sentence of the Quran with that. But you have to make sure you say that, that Fatiha. Fatiha is the opening of it. When you finish saying that, you say the ayah. What you say? You say Allah Akbar, you come back here, you're on this station, and you say Subhanallah, 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 wa bihamdi. Yeah, you recognize again the power of the whole, and you thank Him. And then you come back to the station. You come back to the standing position, and you go down. You say Allahu Akbar. You recognize again the whole. Subhana Rabbiyal A'la wa bihamdi. You again recognize Him, and you come down like this, and you come like this, and you pray. There's a prayer you do. You come back like there also. You say the same thing, and you come up. That's one rakah. And a rakah is only the submission of self again back. You see, when I pray, look at how many of my body touch the ground. Just check. If you look, it's 7 parts. 7 parts of my body touch the whole. Have you ever seen electricity without ground?
Yeah.
Huh? Electricity with no ground. You have to ground electricity. And that's what we do. The energy that is on us, the static electricity that is in us, the negative ingredient that is in us, we put it back to the ground, to where we're from. And we make sure all our body parts, right there, 7 parts, 7 days, are connected back to the ground. That's how we pray.
We're going to continue the discussion over lunch. We got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.